The local Vanguard, how AIQ, EQ, and sustainable innovation are redefining global power. One city, many faces, one future. She grew up in Algiers, but it could have been Paris, London or Los Angeles, or Lisbon. The skyline, global. The brand names, identical. The job she dreamed of. Somewhere in a tower that spoke English, ran on Wi-Fi and paid in dollars. She didn't want to leave home. She wanted opportunity. But globalization had a different blueprint. Pull talent north, leave discontent south. Now she's part of a movement that asks, what if localization, not migration, is the real revolution? See all links below and subscribe. Part 1. The Globalization Mirage. Origins, Dreams and Discontents. A brief history of globalization. Globalization, as we know it today, intensified in the post-Cold War 1990s, driven by the fall of the Berlin Wall and the ideological triumph of capitalism, the spread of the internet and digital markets, the rise of the World Trade Organization, 1995, and international finance. Its premise was simple: open borders, shared resources, free movement of capital, ideas and labor. Successes? The global poverty rate dropped from 36% in 1990 to 9.2% in 2020, World Bank. Lifespan increased. Access to education grew. Countries like China and India saw rapid middle-class expansion. But here's what's often hidden in the headlines. Nearly 85% of those escaping poverty lived in just two countries, China and India. Meanwhile, manufacturing jobs in the US, UK, and Europe collapsed, triggering populist backlash. Fragile economies in Africa and Latin America became more dependent, not more sovereign. Research from the OECD 2023 shows that 43 of the world's top 50 cities have nearly identical business ecosystems, favouring tech, capital, and real estate. Urbanist Saskia Sassen calls these global cities, hubs of influence disconnected from local culture. The problem, they work well for the top 20%, but the remaining 80%, especially youth, are stuck, competing for overpriced housing, dependent on unstable work, losing access to community and tradition. And so, migration flows from countryside to capital, from periphery to power. Part 2. The far-right backlash and failure of global democracy. In Europe and North America, far-right movements capitalized on discontent. Their message? Globalization has gone too far. Migration must stop. Borders must return. In the UK, Brexit was fueled by fears of job loss and migration. In Italy, the president's rise stemmed from anti-immigration rhetoric. In the US, the president's platform framed migrants as economic and cultural threats. But it's not just rhetoric, it's structure. The global south supplies raw materials, cheap labour, and outsourced production. The global north sets rules, consumes, and controls capital. Globalization created winners, but not stakeholders. Why democracy faltered in the Global South IMF and World Bank structural adjustment policies 1980s-2000s gutted public sectors. Political systems imported from the West didn't fit local contexts. Multinationals outcompeted local businesses. Result? Citizens trust local institutions less than ever. Afrobarometer 2022. Youth look north. Not because they hate home, but because home feels economically mute. Part 3. The power of localization. Decentralize to stabilize. What if the solution is not migrate north, but invest south? What if the key is not to flee local, but to empower it? The case for local solutions. Climate-resilient agriculture in West Africa is cutting dependency on food imports. Decentralized solar microgrids in East Africa power 30 million homes. Remote tech work platforms are allowing African coders to earn globally while living locally. Distributed manufacturing using 3D printing in rural Latin America is creating affordable tools for farmers. Community-run health AI chatbots in South Asia are bridging healthcare gaps where clinics don't exist. Case study, remote work in Africa. The YouTube video I am describing here provides features from Rwanda's and Kenya's investment in AI and coding hubs. Andela trains software engineers for remote jobs with Google, Microsoft, and Meta. Zipline uses AI drones to deliver blood and medicine across rural Rwanda. Result: youth no longer have to leave home to find meaning, they anchor it. Localization, stability. Community identity is preserved. Families stay together. Cities grow sustainably, not explosively. Part 4. The story of Aissatou, one girl, many worlds. Aissatou grew up in Dakar. Her dream? To be a tech innovator. Her brother left for Paris. Her sister works in an NGO, but she stayed. Through a local accelerator funded by Senegal's Ministry of Digital Economy and the African Development Bank, Aissatou trained in AI for environmental science. Now she's building a mobile platform that predicts floods in coastal towns. Her work is used in 4 countries. Her income is global. Her footprint is local. She says, "I didn't need to run away to be relevant. I just needed the tools." Part 5. From global illusions to local truths. What must change? Rebalance global funding. Redirect foreign aid towards local digital infrastructure, not foreign-led NGOs. Support entrepreneurship ecosystems, not charity chains. Educate for place-based leadership, train youth in context-based innovation, include local languages, climate, culture, and history in the AI curriculum. Ethical AI deployment: use AI to augment, not replace, local intelligence. Develop multilingual models to reduce linguistic imperialism. Decentralize power: invest in second-tier cities, rural economies, and digital villages. Use AI to identify where opportunity gaps exist before people migrate. Sustainability through local innovation: support agroforestry initiatives that blend local tradition with climate science. Fund local maker labs that build tools for education, farming, and trade. Build community broadband infrastructure to connect remote schools and entrepreneurs. Encourage diaspora-led investment cooperatives in towns of origin. Part 6. What capital cities have in common and why it matters. World's capitals, same script, different actors. According to UN Habitat 2022, capital cities share these traits: centralized national funding, overcrowded infrastructure, rising inequality, declining small business ownership, international investor control of real estate. Whether it's Paris or Nairobi, Lagos or London, the skyline rises while social mobility stalls. That's why localization doesn't mean isolation, it means distributing the dream. Part 7. A planet of meaningful places, not just global nodes. We were never meant to belong to airports. We were meant to belong to places with story, language, identity, and continuity. Let's reimagine education, tech, and economics as placemaking tools. Let's turn "help them in their countries" from a political catchphrase into a global strategy. Hire across borders, teach from the margins, build tools that listen in multiple dialects, fund climate tech made for and by local innovators, grow networks of local mentors and global allies. Become a local Vanguard from links below. Download your free guide to decolonizing tech, education, and AI. Read my books, The Immigrant Manifesto, AIQ Savvy and EQ Shrewd Vanguard Leader, Transformative Approaches, and become partner with Descript to tell your local story globally. Because the next revolution won't come from a tower in New York, it'll come from a solar-powered classroom in Kigali. See all links below and subscribe.